surprise on your end that it ended up being the Orange Bowl?
The actual call, I talked to Eric after it was announced on television, and Kirk and I were in his office, and we officially accepted the invitation. The way the process, I've been talking to the bowl reps, it seems like now for years, but it's been 2 weeks, several times a day, working with the actual reps as well as the commissioner. And then ultimately what happened this afternoon is the bowl commissioners, the BCS bowls, and the television networks had a meeting late in the afternoon, early in the evening. And it was at that time they decided who was going where. They still, I had a sense based on all my conversations at the end of last week, but officially, we didn't learn the official word until the television announcement and then acceptance and talking to Eric after the show. I found out through Commissioner Delaney just kind of right before the show that was going to be confirmed.
Gary, what a difference a second makes.
Oh, related to the games last night, or the game last night. Clearly, if you like college football, it was an exciting day yesterday, not just the final game, but some of the other games as well. And, who knows what might have been, could have been, had that game turned out differently. So certainly what a difference a second.
Did you watch all of that?
I did. And just an aside from my standpoint, win, lose, or draw on the field goal, I would have felt terrible for anybody if they would have had to have lived with an outcome that related to losing that last second or losing a chance at a national championship. So I was pleased that it didn't end that way, and whether they would have made the field goal or not, I was just pleased it didn't end on that last second.
A lot of Iowa fans, or the scuttlebutt this week a lot was surrounding the Fiesta Bowl, but did you have a sense that they kind of wanted to put Boise State and TCU and get that matchup?
During the course of the week, you end up having conversations about, I think when I started the week, I jokingly said 37 scenarios. As the week narrowed down, it probably narrowed down to 3 or 4 scenarios, and one of the scenarios is the one that played out, and that's where we received an invitation to the Orange Bowl, and TCU and Boise State ended up in the Fiesta Bowl. So it was one of the scenarios later in the week that I thought was a possibility, but until it finally happens, you don't know for sure.
Are you guaranteed the Orange Bowl a certain number of tickets that you'll buy, or the university will buy? Or?
The BCS, the answer is it's very cut and dry. It's clearly defined. No matter which BCS bowl you go, other than the Rose Bowl. And I think the national championship is a little bit different as well. It's 17,500, and so that's the case. If we would have gone or someone else goes, that's the guarantee.
Got to ask you about your basketball coach. I was Coach Lickliter's health.
At the end of the day, yesterday after the game, we announced that he was doing well, and he continues to do well. And as we mentioned yesterday, in respect for his privacy, we weren't going to go into any detail, but I'm pleased to say that he continues to do well.
Do you know when he might be back on the sidelines? Is he going to coach Tuesday? Is it Friday? Do you know yet?
A decision hasn't been reached yet, so obviously we'll announce as soon as we know. But we do anticipate he'll be back this week, just don't know when.
You still in the hospital?
Honestly, I don't know right at this moment because I've been a little bit detained for about the last 4 or 5 hours.
Coach says 2002 was their worst performance in a bowl game under his tenure, as he puts it. How confident are you that this team will perform better this week or this next month than they did in that one?
Well, I'll let him answer the comparison. What I'm comfortable saying, because I've been here during this year, I wasn't here back then, is I'm confident they'll be very well prepared. When I think about, I'm sure Norm, somewhere right about now, I haven't run into him yet tonight, somewhere about now he's trying to figure out how we're going to stop the option, which as defensive coordinator, that'll give you fits. But what I know about our coaching staff is they'll be extremely well prepared. I feel great confidence that we'll be competitive, and I just base that on what they did the rest of this.
When you you think about all 37 scenarios that could have played out this week, how relieved, excited, whatever are you to know that this scenario played out and that it played out with you guys going to a BCS Bowl?
Well, we certainly, our goal starting every season would be to go as far as we can, including, maybe someday winning a national championship. That's your goal when you start out. But if you told me at the beginning of the year we were going to be selected to play in a BCS Bowl, whether it be the Orange Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl, I would have told you I'd be thrilled. And I sit here today saying, what an honor. When you think about the number of teams that start out the season having that as their goal, I'm just so proud of Kirk and the student athletes, and it's tremendous. It probably still hasn't hit us yet that they earned it, but until you get invited, you aren't going to rest easy. So tonight I'll go home and just really enjoy the fact that his team earned this invitation and we get an opportunity to participate.
One of the debating this week was Iowa or Penn State. What do you say to the Nittany Lion fans and players right now?
I said earlier in the week that I likened it to going after a job and the other candidate, the other finalist is your brother. I still want the job, but I feel bad for my brother. So the only thing I would say is I'm pleased it turned out the way it did because we were fortunate enough to beat them at their place when they were ranked very high in the country. But if the rest of it, we focused on what Iowa brings to the table, the Iowa fan base, the excitement that Iowa would bring to the bowl, and we really didn't go head-to-head on any other factor when it came to talking about the Hawkeyes.